Friday night. Finally, it's the end of a long week at work. Well, that's if you do work. So, good evening, Chris.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How's your week been?
Boring without the football, I must admit. I'm getting a bit fed up now, all these matches being called off.
Well, that's life. But hopefully,
Not tomorrow.
finally, football is back tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
I hope so as well.
just before we start, Ollie Graham has said hi to me and you. So, hi, Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
So, the topics tonight. BTFC is at lineup 11. Tooting and Mitcham. Facts about them, danger men. One I've hidden away from Chris, I will answer honestly. Will they park the bus on the Tooting and Mitcham side of life? And then we go over to live on Twitter. Fantastic response after last week's preview. 1,020, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's 1,050 something now.
Well, 1,050. Thank you so much for that response. The topics tonight live on Twitter. Obviously, that's if you're interested. I'm sure you will be. Despite having a fairly large squad, do we need a few additions with a run ahead? What theme tune would you come out to? Now, this is not my topic. Chris has selected it. Sorry, all the R. Kelly fans. So, Chris, good evening again.
Yep, hi.
Let's go through your lineup 11.
Okay, well, my Billericay starting 11 this week is a fairly strong side. My back five, completely unchanged to the last lot we did. Julian in goal, Kizzy right back, Swain in man, Urquhart. Then I'd have in the midfield of Ricky Modesta on the right, Jermaine Pennant and Mashi Payne in the middle, and Sam Deering on the left. And up front, I'd have Jake Robinson and Adam Cunnington. My substitutes: Wheeler, O'Hara, Evans, Bricknell, Watts, and Waldron.
Well, it's now time for my lineup 11. Julian in goal, Urquhart, Inman, Swain, Kizzy, Modeste, Deering, Payne, Waldron, and surprisingly, Bricknell and Cunnington. Yes, I've left the 39 goal man out. My reason is save him for Tuesday so he can fire away at Worthing, hopefully. On the bench, O'Hara, Robinson, Evans, Pennant, and finally Nicky Wheeler would be on the bench. And I would look to bring him on around about 60 minutes for some pace and some injection and to create a lot of chances. So, Chris, obviously, this is quite an important game now with Dudley slipping up twice. Let's hope we don't slip up.
No, we need to go out all guns blazing in this one. Put it to bed nice and early.
Well, it's going to be hard to not slip on the pitch.
Yeah, I've looked at their pitch actually. It's not the best. It's better than ours, but it's game against Dulwich a couple of weeks ago. A few weeks ago, it was quite bobbly, cut up a bit. It's firmer than ours. It's firmer than our pitch, but it's not one to play when balls are on the ground. It's going to be up in the air job again, I think.
And obviously, you know, we've both named benches and a starting 11, but you've went with Robinson, I've went with Bricknell. What did you think of my decision with that one?
Yeah, it swings and roundabouts really. I think we're all capable of doing a job up there. I'd certainly have Billy on at some stage. I'd certainly have Wheeler on at some stage. So, you know, we'll wait and see. I think Nick might feel a bit unlucky to be out of my starting 11, but you know, you got Sam Deering, and to me, Sam's best player at the club. You know, on his day. So we'll just wait and see.
So, Chris, it's now time for your moment to shine.
Billericay have played Tooting twice at home, winning 1-0 in the Bostik League and 3-1 in the Build-Based FA Trophy first qualifying round. Tooting, nicknamed the Terrors, were promoted as champions of the Isthmian League South Division last season, but are really struggling at the foot of the bottom of the league, just one place off the bottom in fact. They haven't shown performances like the dogged one they put up against Billericay at the HEP back in September. Do you remember that Ricky Modeste goal in the 90th minute? Right. Well, this time around, of course, Billericay are playing on Tooting's turf, and Tooting are desperate to avoid the drop, so it may not be easy as we think. However, they were comfortably beaten by our arch rivals, Dulwich Hamlet 3-1 a few weeks ago, with some woeful defensive displays and a goalkeeper who had a very off day.
Obviously, you mentioned Dulwich there. Sorry for the strong language.
Again. You'd have to get a bleep machine, won't you, Reece, I think?
That's beep.
Anyway, here are some facts about Tooting and Mitcham. The most famous thing about Tooting is probably where the BBC TV comedy series of the 1970s, Citizen Smith, was supposed to have been based. Tooting, the town, is actually situated in the London Borough of Wandsworth in South London, although Tooting and Mitcham team play at a ground which is located in Morden, which is based in the London Borough of Merton, and it's called the KNK Stadium. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? For those of you driving, the address is Imperial Fields, Bishopsford Road, Morden, SM4 6BF. The nearest tube is Morden on the Northern Line.
Chris, mate, this ain't traffic time.
Well, people need to know how to get there, mate, don't they? So there you go. It's a 20 to 25 minute walk from Morden Station, unless you get number 201 or the bus number 118. And can I just make a note at this point that if you're travelling from Billericay by train, there's a bus service to Shenfield and vice versa this Saturday. So you may need to leave a little bit early. Anyway, back to Tooting. The team as it is today were formed from two teams way back in 1932. Tooting were founded in 1887 and Mitcham Wanderers were founded in 1912. They were merged to form a team representing two areas, and they played in white shirts up until 1956. Today they play in black and white striped shirts with black shorts and black stockings. They have reached the FA Cup proper on 10 occasions, the last time being 2019, and the club has also won the Isthmian League twice in 1958 and 1960. Other honours include the Surrey Senior Cup and the London Senior Cup, which have won a total of 6 times. In 1959, Tooting were drawn at home to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. They went into a 2-goal lead, but Forest drew level, taking them to a replay, which Tooting and Mitcham were defeated 3-0. And in 1974-75, in the first round proper, they played at home, the ground then being Sandy Lane, not where they are now, in front of 10,000 crowd against Crystal Palace on a Wednesday afternoon. And they lost 2-1 to a team that included the likes of Terry Venables, Peter Taylor and Alan Whittle. In 1975-76, Tooting reached the 4th round. That's, yes, the final 32, after beating Romford in the first round, Leatherhead in the second after a replay, Swindon after a replay at Sandy Lane in the 3rd round, and on January the 24th, 1976, they went up to Bradford City where they were beaten 3-1. Anyhow, that's enough nostalgia. Let's focus more about the club and the match ahead on Saturday.
Hallelujah.
I hope no one's fallen asleep, I tell you. Anyway, Tooting and Mitcham play at Imperial Fields in Morden, situated just off the A217 between Mitcham and Rose Hill. The facilities at the stadium are excellent. Apart from their grass pitch, Tooting also had 2 artificial pitches. They also have a decent sports bar, so I've been advised, which is open 7 days a week with lagers and ales starting at £3 a pint. And they've got Sky TV, and they say they do a great variety of mixers, spirits, soft drinks, snacks and coffee. And they say they use the finest beans by whatever made by Heinz. Anyway, they have Sky Sports and BT Sports and a dartboard. The ground itself has a capacity of 3,500 and that includes 612 seats. They're currently 23rd out of 24th in the league, and they're hovering just 1 point above bottom place Burgess Hill Town. However, Burgess Hill Town play 3 games less.
Hold on, Chris. Sorry, you might be hearing a bit of background. Obviously, I do have a family house, so sorry about that. Continue.
I don't know, amateurs, I don't know. Anyway. Tooting have amassed 25 points from 29 games. They've scored 40 goals, which actually isn't too bad as goal scored stands.
Chris, mate, you continue. I'm just going out to shut them up.
Okay, mate, yeah. But they've conceded the most in the division, a whopping 70. Incredibly, we only put one past at the AGP earlier in the season. They've only won 7 games, drawn 4 and lost 18. Their goal difference is -30. I think Billericay will be fresh and hungry for a win here. Having had several games wiped out by the weather recently, I'd more than expect Billericay to notch up a big win and need to put this one to bed early. With a defence as poor as the Tootings, one would expect a deluge. We have a game Tuesday evening against Worthing, who are also struggling, and we need to close the gap on Dulwich and win every possible game we can. As you know, we are just 5 points behind them with a massive 8 games in hand, and the sooner we overhaul them, the sooner we can concentrate on leaving them far behind us. It was Dulwich that Tooting had their largest home crowd of the season, 636 fans attended that. However, their home crowd against Corinthian Casuals attracted 65. I'll say that is 65, that's nothing to say. The biggest loss was at home against Staines Town on the 3rd of October. They lost 7-0. The last 6 games they've played, they've lost 5. The teams that beat them were Dulwich, Leatherhead, Harlow, Met Police and most recently Margate. Their only one win came against Mitcham in a 3-1 home victory. Their manager is Frank Wilson, assistant manager and first team coach is Paul Dale. Their kit man is Charlie Smith. Trust Tooting to have a Citizen Smith. Anyway, players to take particular notice of. Their goalkeeper Matty Pearson, who has kept 1 clean sheet in 23 appearances this season, but he does get down to the ball pretty quickly. Defender Quincy Rowe has made the most appearances, 32 this season. Forward Mike Dixon, with 8 goals this season, including one against Billericay in the FA Trophy qualifying game at the AGP in October. He's made 26 appearances, and he's my danger man. Then we have a forward, Omar Folks, who's scored 5 goals this season, and he's 27 years old and has made 25 appearances. I've watched a few of the highlights of Tooting. They do like to play it on the floor a lot, but their pitch seemed to be cut up against Dulwich a few weeks ago, even though it was quite firm. They do like to have a pop from range, I've noticed, and they are fairly accurate, so Alan Julian will have to be alert. We need to ensure that their players are closed down within shooting distance. My summary, a straightforward win for the Blues, no freedom for Tooting, at least not on the pitch. The only revolution going on is the one at the AGP, so power to the Ricky. Tooting may be known as the Terrors, but I don't think they are likely to tear us apart, certainly not this time around. Therefore, I predict a stroll in the park with the Blues. The weather, well, it's Saturday. Bring your umbrella with you, and as we may get some rain around kick-off time. Typical.
Thanks for that, Chris. That was one of my favourite away parts so far. So well done. Good review there, mate.
Thank you.
You're now sacked.
Yeah, I'll ask for a golden handshake first, mate. You don't get into nothing.
My question, obviously, you know, I do like to have a question in this preview. We haven't had many games, so I've put it on the away side. Will they park the bus as they are scraping for the points?
If they park the bus on that pitch, mate, it's going to get stuck in the mud. But, I don't know. Yes, I think is the answer to that one. I think they'll try and be as defensive as possible. Because if they push forward for a win, we've got the pace throughout the midfield and forwards. It doesn't really matter who we've got in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
We're just going to destroy them. Their defence is poor. There's no two ways about it. I watched one of the games online
Chris,
today.
I do find you a bit disrespectful saying we're going to destroy them, because I don't think we are. I think we're going to win 3-1 or something.
I think it's going to be more than that.
Destruction is an 8-0. Tooting on their home turf. If they park the bus, will not let us do that.
No, their defence is poor. You've got to see it to believe it, to be honest.
Yeah, but their defence...
70 goals conceded, Reece. It's not good, mate.
Yeah, but their defence might be poor. If they're park the bus, a typical park the bus, you look at any single football team, that involves the 4 at the back, the 4 in the midfield, and say there's one in Cam, he'll be just on the edge of the box to sweep it through. So we're not going to smash him if they've got 8 in the box against what, 5 of ours.
Right, I'll tell you what it's gonna hinge on. Right, one, we need to do what we haven't done in a few matches recently. Especially the Harlow match. The Harlow match we could have won by a landslide a few weeks ago. The Senior Cup match, but we need to take our chances as and when.
Yeah.
They come to us. Well, we weren't clinical enough that evening. I think if we're clinical against Tooting, they could park a bus station against us, mate. We've got best striker in the league, in Robbo. He's more than capable of destroying this almost single-handedly, I would have thought. I really don't think Tooting have got a chance. So, probably our easiest away match of the season.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I do think you're being a bit unfair, but we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Because I think we'll beat them 3-1. A destruction, no, because their pitch, as you said, ain't that great, and we've had performances so many times on not such a great pitch where we've had to dig in and scrape victories. And it doesn't matter how much quality you've got, if they've got a poor pitch, their players will be more used to it being, well, more experienced in the leagues.
It's not as poor as our pitch, or at least it wasn't a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's still going to be poor in this month, probably.
Yeah, fair enough. But it was a lot firmer than our pitch. Seemed to play. So I think our pace will do.
We've broken another record. We've had an argument. 17 minutes in, that is all on YouTube. You can now switch over to Twitter. I've told you the gossip, and I'll tell you again, despite having a fairly large squad, do we need a few additions? So, this could cause a bit of debate. Hopefully it won't, because I've had enough of one argument with him.
You never win an argument against me, mate, unless you're my wife.
But I just won that argument.
No, you didn't.
Do you want an argument about this? So guys, as I said, sorry for the background. I did have to leave, so it was a bit unprofessional, but sometimes you just don't know what's going to be when you're live, innit, Chris?
That's right. Speak for yourself, mate. As always.
So guys, while I knock him out, I'm joking. We'll see you in 5 minutes on Twitter. Bye-bye.